Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're journeying back in time, deep into the heart of Neolithic Britain, to a place shrouded in mystery and ancient whispers. We're heading to Wiltshire, England, a landscape dotted with some of the world's most famous prehistoric monuments like Stonehenge and Avebury. But nestled nearby is a structure that is just as significant, yet perhaps less known, the West Kennet Long Barrow. Imagine standing before a massive, chalk-white mound stretching out over 100 meters long. That's longer than a modern football pitch. It rises from the rolling green hills like a sleeping giant, a silent testament to a world that existed nearly 6,000 years ago. This isn't just a hill. It's one of the largest and most impressive Neolithic chambered tombs in all of Europe. Built between 3700 and 3600 BCE, this monument is older than the Great Pyramid of Giza, older than Stonehenge itself. It was constructed by the very first farming communities in Britain, people who were just beginning to transform the landscape and their way of life. What makes West Kennet so captivating is that you can actually go inside. At its eastern end, you'll find a striking entrance made of huge sarsen stones, the same type of rock used at Stonehenge. These megaliths form a semicircular forecourt, a kind of ancient plaza where it's believed communities gathered for rituals and ceremonies. Passing between these towering stones feels like crossing a threshold into another world. You duck your head and step into a narrow passage that leads deep into the heart of the barrow. Inside, the passage opens up into 5 distinct chambers, 2 pairs of smaller chambers branching off to the sides, and a larger, terminal chamber at the very end. The air is cool and still, and the silence is profound. It's here, in the darkness of these stone-lined rooms, that the barrow's true purpose was fulfilled. This was a house for the dead, a communal tomb. Archaeological excavations, most notably in the 1950s by Stuart Piggott and Richard Atkinson, uncovered the remains of at least 36 individuals within these chambers. Men, women, and children were laid to rest here over a period that could have spanned centuries. What's fascinating is that the skeletons were not always complete. It seems the bones were often sorted and arranged, with skulls and long bones grouped together. This suggests that the tomb wasn't just a place to deposit the dead and seal it forever. Instead, it was likely visited time and time again. Imagine ancient people returning to this sacred space, perhaps to add a newly deceased member of their clan, or to commune with the spirits of their ancestors. They might have moved the bones, taking some with them, or rearranging them as part of their rituals. It points to a complex and dynamic relationship with death and ancestry, very different from our own. The dead weren't just gone. They remained a tangible part of the community. The balance of male and female skeletons found here also suggests that this was a tomb reserved for elite warriors or kings. It was a place for the whole community, a collective resting place that emphasized kinship and belonging over individual status. The construction of the barrow itself is a staggering feat of engineering. It was built using sarsen stones for the chambers and facade, some weighing several tons, which were likely dragged from the nearby Marlborough Downs. The main body of the mound is composed of chalk rubble, quarried from 2 enormous ditches that once flanked the barrow. Think about the level of social organization required to achieve this. Hundreds of people would have had to work together, quarrying stone, felling trees for rollers and levers, and hauling tons of material without the aid of wheels or metal tools. This wasn't just building a tomb. It was a massive community project that would have bound people together, reinforcing their shared identity and beliefs. It was an act of creation that mirrored their new agricultural way of life, shaping the earth to sustain their future. But the story of West Kennet doesn't end with the last burial. Around 2500 BCE, after perhaps 1,000 years of use, the entrance to the barrow was deliberately and systematically blocked. The chambers and the forecourt were filled with earth, rubble, and artifacts, including pottery, flint tools, and animal bones. This final act of sealing wasn't a desecration. It was a careful, ritualized closure. It was as if the community decided it was time to put the ancestors to their final rest. To close the door on one chapter of their history as a new era, the Bronze Age, began to dawn. The three massive sarsen stones that block the entrance today were the final plug, sealing the Barrow and its secrets for over 4,000 years. Why did they seal it? We can only speculate. Perhaps beliefs changed. Perhaps the rise of new power structures, focused more on individual leaders than on collective ancestry, made communal tombs like this obsolete. The focus shifted from the community of the past to the heroes of the present. This act of sealing is just as intriguing as the Barrow's construction. It was a conscious decision to end a tradition that had lasted for a millennium. Standing on top of the Barrow today, you get a breathtaking panoramic view of the surrounding landscape. You can see Silbury Hill, the largest man-made mound in prehistoric Europe, just a short distance away. The entire area is part of a sacred landscape, a network of monuments where people lived, worshipped, and honored their dead. West Kennet Long Barrow wasn't an isolated structure. It was a key part of a vibrant and complex Neolithic world. It connects us directly to our distant ancestors. It reminds us that they were not primitive savages, but sophisticated engineers, astronomers, and spiritual thinkers. They had a deep connection to the land, to the seasons, and to the eternal cycles of life and death. They built monuments not just for their time, but for eternity. And in a way, they succeeded. Because here we are, nearly 6,000 years later, still marveling at their work, still asking questions, and still feeling a sense of awe as we step into the cool, quiet darkness of the West Kennet Long Barrow. It's a powerful reminder of the enduring human need to remember, to connect, and to leave a mark on the world. Thanks for joining me on this journey back in time. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more explorations into the mysteries of the past. Let me know in the comments what ancient site you'd like to see us cover next. Until then, keep exploring.